coming up on Sports Night. The men's basketball team looks to return to winning ways.
In a story that's guaranteed to make you smile, we listen in as an intramural basketball icon takes the court in search of a deep playoff run.
And women's lacrosse gears up for a heavyweight fight against North Carolina. Max, it's hard to believe that we've been in these chairs for the last 4 years.
The world has changed a lot around us in those 4 years, but there's been one staple, 7 o'clock Thursday nights right here at this desk. And would you look at that? It's Sports Night right now.
Welcome back. I'm Evan Denton.
And I'm Max Goodman. Evan, as you know, I'm more of a baseball guy, but March Madness is right around the corner. I couldn't be more excited.
That is true. We're just 10 days away from Selection Sunday, but who's counting? Although I don't think our Cats will be dancing this year. The men's basketball team has been sliding of late. After going winless in the month of February, the Cats look to regroup against the Fighting Illini in Champaign. Let's take a look. The Cats getting ready for the Illini. Early on, Vic Law goes coast to coast, and he gets the slam dunk to go. What a player. 6 minutes to go in the half. Derek Pardon finds Anthony Gaines on the backdoor cut, and he converts the and one basket. A couple minutes later now, Ryan Gear drives and finds Pardon for the dunk. Cats down at the half. Second half now. Vic Law connects on the step back jumper. Don't do him like that, Vic. It's good. Now, 12 minutes to go. Pardon finds Miller Kopp in the corner on a skip pass, and it's Miller time. Cats have some life, only down by 8. Now on defense, Kopp does it all. He swipes Illinois' pocket and throws it down on his head, big fella. I like to see that. But it wouldn't be enough, as the Cats would lose their rivalry game, 81-76 to the Fighting Illini. Now at home, the Cats hosting Ohio State in New Welsh Ryan. Vic Law early on with the step back jumper. He likes that move, folks, and he gets it to go again. 8:47 remaining in the first half. Anthony Gaines drives, takes on the entire state of Ohio, and somehow, someway, gets this layup to go. What a move by the sophomore. 7:14 to go in the first half. AJ Turner spots up in the corner, and he splashes in the three. Cats looking good early. Now about a minute later, AJ Turner drives baseline and finds a cutting Vic Law for the 2-point layup. Cats up at half. Second half now, Ohio State's big man, Kyle Young, cleans up the glass and keeps the Buckeyes in the game. Now finally, Derek Pardon gets positioned in the low post, and he gets the dunk to go with authority. Cats would get this win.
Great to see the men's team back on track with the win, and next up for them is number 11, Purdue, for senior night on Saturday. Now let's check in with the women's team and how they did in their regular season finale against the number 12 ranked Hawkeyes. The Cats came up just short, 74-50, but hey, before you write this one off as a bad blowout loss, take a look at the score at halftime. NU was down just 5 points at half, so that's a 2-point possession against the number 12 team in the nation and on the road. Let's not forget that Iowa has Megan Gustafson. She's one of the best in the entire country. She had a casual 34-12. Now further, how about a little shout out to Sports Night's very own Abby Wolf. Have a day. In just 15 minutes of tick, Wolf had 15 points on 7 of 9 shooting. That's really, really efficient. That's the first time in her career that the junior has led the team in scoring. And finally, no surprises here, Lindsey Pulliam dropped 13 points, and that's significant because it's the 28th straight game that she's scored in the double digits. You've got to go all the way back to November 6th of 2018, a win against Green Bay, for the last time that Pulliam didn't reach 10. She had 9 in that one. Now, 4 days later after the loss to Iowa, and PKA is getting ready for NU's Big Ten tourney opener against Michigan State. Early on, it was Abby Scheid from the outside. Here's 3 of her 3 threes in the first quarter in succession, and clearly she likes it from the top of the key. Junior would finish with 9. And from one Abby to another, here's Abby Wolf. I just talked about her. Drives through the lane, foul, and 1. I should also mention, folks, that it's her 21st birthday today. Happy birthday, Abby. And it's her birthday, so we got to give her more highlights. Here she is off the pick and roll, through the contact, finishing at the rim, and finally in the post, fundamental move, drop step. Cats are down by 7 at the half. Now PKA is going to take it baseline. She finishes to cut the lead to 1, and now, just a minute later, she gets it down on the block and finishes with the left to give the Cats the first lead of the game. But after that, it was all Michigan State Spartans. That's Shea Colley knocking down a triple, and Victoria Gaines scoring on the break. The Cats would fall, and they're out of the tournament, 68-52.
For some, intramural basketball means everything and then some. My co-anchor Max Goodman caught up with a couple of familiar faces to see if their knowledge of the game translates to the hardwood.
The Northwestern intramural basketball playoffs have begun. And Ben Boken is a spark off the bench. The stretch power forward represents Big Boken brand.
Let's play some D!
The 23 seed in this year's White League playoff bracket.
I'll pass.
But to Boken, IMs are more than just a game.
Just for 40 minutes every Thursday night, I can play some basketball, get my stress level down. Working out really helps with that, and doing it with your friends is even better.
On the court, Boken focuses on the fundamentals.
Oh, we're triple teaming him.
He can pass.
I meant to do that.
He can crash the boards.
Oh, I got the rebound. No. Woo!
He most certainly can trash talk his opponents.
All right, let him have it. He doesn't want it.
And let's not forget how smooth he can finish at the rim.
Woo! Woo! That's 7 points on the season, baby.
Sometimes it might not look pretty,
I got blocked really bad.
but Boken's consistent play has resulted in some high praise from his teammates.
This isn't as easy as it looks.
It's like if you take the round mound of rebound and Steph Curry, put him into one, you get Ben Boken.
I like that.
Like, if that's not who you aspire to be, then I guess you just don't got goals in life.
What's more, Boken is a team player,
All right, let's go. Push it.
a leader both on and off the
Get the
floor,
rebound. Good.
a
Hands up, D.
defensive mastermind,
All right, watch that cutter right there.
and a friend to pick you up and make you laugh when you're down.
That was a good play. I'm a fan of you. I'm a fan of this team.
You can have a pen, but if you don't have any ink, it's not a pen anymore. That's us. We have a team, but without Ben Boken, we don't have a team.
Big Boken brand was on cruise control Thursday night,
Oh, he's pulling up.
capturing their 3rd win of the season
Easy money.
and making it to the 2nd round.
You're fearless. I like that.
To Boken and his teammates, there's simply no limit to how far this squad can go.
3, 2, 1. BBB on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Beyond the championship. Like, we'll win that, but that's not our only goal. I mean, again, when it comes to Ben Boken, it's more than just basketball. It's a way of life.
Oh. Everyone's talking about us. Like, you go to the dining halls, you hear people say, have you seen that Big Boken brand team? I mean, people's jaws drop.
Now, Boken poured in 4 points on Thursday night, matching his season high. And after the game, he told me that he wasn't completely satisfied. He said that if there was any shot on the entire court that he would have taken in the game, it would have been this one. We'll see if he can pull that one off in the playoffs, 2nd round next week. But for now, this is Max Goodman from the courts at SPAC for NNN Sports. That was an absolute blast to film. Big thank you to Ben for being such a good sport. How about that shot at the end? Anyways, we've got plenty of softball and baseball content coming up after the break, so don't move a muscle. We'll be right back.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Go Northwestern, break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all the go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
At Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. At Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
Welcome back. Max, the one thing I can't stand about winter quarter is seeing all these sports teams go to much warmer places than staying here in Evanston.
You know, it makes me kind of want to reconsider my career path, thinking that if I was a student athlete, I'd be able to go to these warm places. Like, for example, if I was on the softball team, every weekend I'd be going to a beautiful new place. Close your eyes and picture 75 degrees and sunny with the smell of freshly cut grass. Sounds pretty good, huh? All right, now open your eyes, and either you're delirious here with me in Evanston, or you're on the Northwestern softball team on their trip to Palo Alto for a 5-game swing at the Stanford tournament. And after a win against Cal Poly, a heartbreaking 1-0 loss to Stanford, and a second contest against Cal Poly canceled due to rain, the Wildcats took on the Bison of North Dakota State. And Northwestern's potent offense wasted no time dropping a crooked number. Sophomore Rachel Lewis capped off a 5-run bottom of the first with a 2-run homer, her third of the season, giving her a share of the team lead. Sophomore Kenna Wilkie did the rest, pitching an absolute gem. 7 innings of 2-hit shutout softball with 10 strikeouts paved the way for an easy 7-0 victory. But the softball team wasn't going to be outdone. Next up for the Cats was the Montana Grizzlies, and freshman phenom Danielle Williams said, "I see you, Kenna Wilkie, with your 7-inning shutout and 10 Ks, and I raise you to a 7-inning shutout with 12 punch-outs." An absolutely dominant performance through and through for the Southpaw. That marks her 10th win of the season already. That's top 10 in the entire nation. And with shutouts comes prolific earned run averages. After NU's trip to California, the team is now 6th in all of Division I softball with a 1.26 ERA. There must be something about those arms in Chicago, because NU's neighbor, the Loyola Chicago Ramblers, are 2nd in the country with a 1.04 ERA.
It might be ice cold outside, but the baseball team is already heating up for a thrilling spring. The Cats look to extinguish the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets in Atlanta this past weekend. Play ball. Northwestern dropped the first game of a 3-game series at Georgia Tech 12-1. Starter Hank Christie gave up 7 runs through 3 2/3 innings, and the Cats' offense couldn't get it going. No Cat had multiple hits, although Alex Ero did extend his hit streak to 22 games with a single. For the Yellow Jackets, catcher Kyle McCann had team-high 7 RBIs. Now in Game 2, didn't go much better for the Cats either. The Yellow Jackets stung the Wildcats late, scoring the game's final 8 runs to win 9-2. Both Jack and David Dunn each had 1 run batted in, but that was all the offense the Cats could muster up against Georgia Tech's Connor Thomas. Georgia Tech's middle infielders Austin Wilhite and Luke Waddle combined for 6 RBIs and 3 hits. Now on to Game 3 of the series. The Cats were doing a lot early under pitcher Quinn Lavelle. Very next batter here, Lavelle shows off the nasty breaking ball and strikes out junior shortstop Austin Wilhite, one of his 8 strikeouts on the day for Lavelle. He went 7 innings and allowed only 6 hits and 1 earned run. The game was scoreless until the 7th when one man on, Luke Waddle hits a shot deep to left, back, and it is over Leo Kaplan's head as the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets go up 1-0. Top of the 8th, now the Cats are fighting back, bases loaded, and Anthony Colcarco smacks one into left field. 2 runs would score, giving Northwestern the lead 2-1. And the onslaught would continue in the 8th. The very next batter, wait for it, I promise you it's good. Sean Gusenberg takes it to deep center field. It's a ground road double, and the Cats would hold on to beat the Yellow Jackets 8-1 in Atlanta.
And now to break down the Wildcats' trip to Atlanta, it's my absolute pleasure to welcome Joe Weinberg of Inside NU onto the desk. Joe, it's your debut with Sports Night. How are you feeling?
It is. I'm feeling great. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me on.
All right, so let's jump right in, Joe. I'm not going to waste any time. The Wildcats were down 1-0 in the 8th inning to an ACC team on the road. Doesn't sound like a perfect situation, but they're able to muster up 5 runs in the top of the 8th, come back, get the win, make sure they don't get swept. Fans of the baseball team haven't really seen that much offense thus far this season. So what can this say, that spark in the 8th, about where this team can go offensively?
Yeah, I think Northwestern's in an interesting place offensively right now. They have a good mix of young guys, old guys too, but seeing Sean Gusenberg come in, give a little bit of spark. You also have Jack Dunn, David Dunn, 2 of the best hitters in the Big Ten right now. They're 3rd and 4th overall. One's batting .380, other's batting .382. So it's great to see what they're doing offensively. I think they should have some confidence going into this weekend.
And as they score runs, they're going to have save opportunities. And Nick Pachorik saved that game against the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. And he had 4 strikeouts and 2 perfect frames. Now, he's a flamethrower. If you guys haven't watched him, he throws in the mid-90s, has a great slider. So how important is he going to be closing out games for this team as they play some close games later on this season?
Pachorik's huge. He's a guy that Northwestern has never really seen under Coach Spencer Allen. You got a lot of good lefty starters on this team, so Pachorik really offers something that Northwestern's never seen before. Having that nice off-speed lefty, combine that with a hard-throwing righty like Pachorik coming in late in the game, and that's everything you could want as a coach, to have him set up like that, and it's shown. He's only walked 2 guys all year, 2 saves in 5 appearances. That's pretty much all you could ask from Pachorik thus far.
And interesting that he was a catcher up to this point. It's his first year pitching. So now moving forward, a little bit of a preview. Wednesday's game against UIC was canceled, so we're not going to be able to see them up at Rocky Miller and Bernice Park just yet. So the next road game for them is this weekend against the Mizzou Tigers. Max Scherzer went there. It's no easy program to go in there and play some games. So what do you think is going to happen? They're on the bus down there right now. I can't confirm. So what do you think?
Yeah, so Northwestern gets to stay in the Midwest. I actually expect Northwestern to win this series. Mizzou struggled a little bit. I think Northwestern getting a win at Duke, getting a win at Georgia Tech, they're going to have a lot of confidence going into a series against an SEC team that struggled a little bit this year. And I think all the pieces are there, and I really like Northwestern to put them together this weekend. Lavelle's pitching well. He'll be starting tomorrow night. And then you got Hank Christie. I expect him to bounce back from a rough start against Georgia Tech. And I like the Cats to win 2 out of 3.
Wow. All right. Well, you heard it here first. Joe, it was a pleasure. Thank you for joining us. Be sure to check InsideNU.com as Joe keeps rocking the beat, covering this baseball team for the rest of the season.
And coming up after the break, we take a look at the women's lacrosse team and their matchup with North Carolina. Don't go anywhere.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Go Northwestern, break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all the go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. At Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
Welcome back. Max, do you have any predictions for March Madness?
Evan, I'm no expert, but it's going to be really hard for me to pick against those probable 1 seeds. We're talking Duke, Gonzaga, Tennessee, those teams.
Well, those are facts, but, as a Duke fan, I do think their rivals, North Carolina, could make a run this year. And speaking of the Tar Heels, let's talk lacrosse. Northwestern and North Carolina have combined for 9 national championships, 5 of which have come in the last decade. The Cats ventured down to Tar Heel backyard for a key non-conference matchup. Grab your lacrosse sticks, your goggles, and cleats. It's game time. The Cats ready for a top 5 matchup. Early on, player Quinn penetrates through the defense and beats the goalie, NU down 2-1 early. Cats struggling a bit, but Lauren Gilbert to the rescue. She would salvage a goal with 5:32 to go in the first half. Cats would trail 14-3 at halftime. Second half now, Megan Kinna finds the back of the net after a beautiful, let me say it again, beautiful pass from Holly Korn. Folks, you're going to want to see this, so let's let it go. There it is. Cats are down 15-4. 5 minutes to go. Leighton Yanor weaves through traffic and scores, and she slams down her stick with some authority. 3 minutes to go. Lindsay McCone gets a final goal back off this free start, and she would get it, but the Cats would lose 21-11.
When you think of Illinois versus Northwestern, the first thing that'll probably pop into your mind is Big Ten football and the land of the Lincoln Trophy. For women's tennis, this rivalry has been drastically one-sided in recent history. The number 13 ranked Wildcats open up Big Ten play Friday night, taking care of business with a 5-2 victory over the 26th ranked Fighting Illini. Now, Illinois fans, if you're out there and if you're listening, I would advise you plug your ears for this stat. Northwestern women's tennis has now topped Illinois in a dual match 19 consecutive times. 19. Northwestern is back in action this weekend on the road at Indiana, and on Saturday against Indiana, and on Sunday they'll play Purdue.
After a rough 4-match losing streak to start the season, the men's tennis team has served up a tremendous turnaround. They look to keep their momentum going against the Indiana Hoosiers. The Wildcats jumped out to a great start as Nick Brooks and Simon Bratham won number 1 doubles, and Antonioni Fasano and Tros Pickens won number 3 doubles. Singles proved to be a tougher matchup as Indiana won 4 of the 5 matches, and the Cats' lone win was at number 3 singles as Antonio Fasano defeated Carson Haskins 7-5, 6-4. The Cats are home on the 10th for a doubleheader against Texas Tech and Illinois Chicago.
Do you ever wonder what the guys on the Northwestern football team do in their free time? They certainly don't have a lot of it, but it's probably enough to pursue another hobby. Our own Abby Wolf gives us the scoop on Foster Revival. I think you're going to like the sound of this one.
Rockers, students, athletes. You can find these 5 Northwestern football players, also known as Foster Revival, on the big stage year-round.
Kind of like a novelty thing that people are interested to see, like, okay, can these guys actually play?
Practicing twice a week in their basement on Foster Street, they've gotten pretty good.
And the way we've kind of been doing it is we pick a few songs, then we split up, everyone learns their part, and we come together and play for a few hours.
It all started one June afternoon with video games.
Went to Walmart and no Rock Band in the store, and we head back and Cam was like, well, wait, why don't I just buy a real guitar?
Walmart quickly became a music store, and they found a drum set in Bob Hall.
I've had some experience singing, so all that was left was finding a bass player, and that's when we found Jesse, or Smooth Randy as he's called in our band.
Turns out Smooth Randy is just the experience the band needed.
I started out with the piano in kindergarten, played for 5 years, and then moved to the guitar for a little bit, and then I played the viola for 4 years into high school.
No matter the experience level, it all finds a way to come together.
Everybody hits the right notes at the right time, and it really hits you.
You could call it the perfect play. Keep an eye out for an upcoming show at La Machina Cafe. For NNN Sports, this is Abby Wolf.
And coming up after the break, we relive the week's top moments and plays of the week.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Go Northwestern, break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all to go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
At Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. At Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
Welcome back one last time, and we're not going to waste any time with this one. It's your favorite part of the show. It's our favorite part of the show, Plays of the Week.
Coming in at number 3, the top of the 8th, this is when the Cats would take the lead over the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Anthony Calarco with the deep double to left field, and as you would know, the Cats would go on to win this game against the Yellow Jackets.
At number 2, give me some Miller Kopp. That's a steal right there. He takes it past half court and goes to the rim for the two-hand jam.
And coming in at number 1, it is the big man, Derek Parton, in the low post. And he slams it down with authority, and the Cats would finally end their long losing streak. Now, for those of you who don't know, Max and I were in these very seats 1,035 days ago.
4 years ago, for the first time in Sports Night history, Evan and I were the first all-freshman duo to anchor Sports Night. And so in honor of Throwback Thursday, let's give you a quick look at how it transpired. Now, before we go any further, on behalf of the entire Sports Night crew, I would like to wish all of the moms out there a very happy Mother's Day. We love you, we thank you, and we would not be here without you.
Yes, Max, I'm sure both of our moms are watching at home. We love you.
Be sure to follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube page, all at NNN Sports. For my co-anchor, Evan Denton, I'm Max Goodman. Thanks for joining us.
Wow, it's crazy how time flies, and it's kind of funny. Our wardrobe is exactly the same as it was back then.
Yeah, we haven't changed a bit. It's been a journey, and thank you so much for joining us on that journey. And please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at NNN Sports, alongside my good friend Evan Denton. Have a great night.